All right, let's continue on with some properties of logarithms. So before we do that, let's talk about some exponent rules. So we learned about the exponent rules where if you have the same base getting multiplied to each other, you can just add the powers. Same base getting divided, you subtract the powers. And then if you have the base to a power to another power, you multiply the powers. So again, remembering that logarithms are just undue exponents, you can kind of see how these relate with the logarithmic rules. So multiplying, if you've got log base a of mn, you can separate that out as two logarithms by using the addition property of logarithms. When you're dividing two things, you can separate that out using the subtraction property. And then this is one of the really crucial ones where if you have log base a of something to a power, you can actually move that power right in front of the logarithm. So for example, if we had something like log base a of 5 to the x power, this property allows me to move that x in front, which is great because it gets that x outside of the logarithm. So just a tip, these properties do need to get memorized just like you had to memorize exponent rules. So as you work through applying these properties, write them first every time you use them, and the more you write them, the more you'll remember them. The other thing that I can recommend is creating some note cards with these on them where you'd put, for example, this on one side of the note card and this on the other side that you can kind of take with you and constantly quiz yourself. If you're one of those that has a smartphone and like to use your smartphone more, there's a great app that's called Quizlet that it's a free app that you can create note cards in digital format to keep on your phone and then just kind of quiz yourself whenever you've got some extra time. So let's look at some of using these examples. So use the properties of logarithms to find the exact value of the following expressions without a calculator. Okay, so let's write those properties again that we just learned. So log base a of m minus log base a of n is the same thing. We can combine those by dividing. Log base a of m plus log base a of n, we can combine those by multiplying. And then if I have something to a power, I can move that power in front of the logarithm. Okay, so looking at letter A, you can see this matches up with this first product or property. So I can combine these two logarithms since they both have the exact same base. So this can be combined as log base 3 of 6 divided by 2. And now I can rewrite this as log base 3 of 3, and I can simplify this further. 3 to what power is 3? And that's 1. Looking at letter B, I can combine these using this addition property. So log base 8 of 16 times 4 equals log base 8 of 64. So 8 to what power is 64? And that's 2. So it's kind of neat where these properties allow us to take something that's pretty ugly and make it into something that's very simple. All right, looking at letter C. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to combine these using this property because they both have the same base, base 4. So this becomes 4 to the log base 4 of 7 times 8, which is 4 to the log base 4 of 56. And now I can use that other property, which was a to the log base a of a number just equals that number. So since the base of the exponent is the same as the base of the logarithm, we can simplify this and say this is just 56.